Hello guys, this is Amos on Music, and for some of you who may have already seen one of my community posts or YouTube short, you might know that I recently broke my leg. So this video is here to just go into more details about it because this injury is my first major injury in my 28 years of age, and I just want to document it so I remember it in the future. I'll just have some Minecraft gameplay from my gaming channel in the background to make this a little bit less boring. Anyway, here's the story on what happened. On the 9th of November 2021, on a Tuesday, I went back to play badminton at a social session. It has been a long 4-month break from the previous session because of the Australia lockdown from the poopy virus. You know what virus I'm talking about. Anyway, at about the 3rd hour into the social games at about 2 PM, this is where the horror comes in. During the intense badminton match, I suddenly felt like someone threw something at the back of my left leg, and simultaneously I also heard a loud pop. It's like, in my head, the first thing that I thought, it was like, who the heck just kicked me? Or threw their racket or bag or bottle at my leg. So, as usual, like the normal response, I turned around, and to my surprise, I actually saw there was nothing thrown to my leg and there was no one around my leg. And that was when I knew I effed up. I am in deep trouble. Then the pain kicked in and I instantly fell onto the ground. But the very kind people of the social helped me up onto the side benches, took my shoe off, and one of them applied anti-inflammation cream and gave me an ice pack to ice my foot there, as they all thought I sprained my ankle or some sort. I then tried standing up to go home, but my balance felt extremely weird. Even when I'm standing normally on both feet on the floor, it felt like my body was tilted down, and at the same time, my body weight was kind of like tilting backwards at the same time onto my left heel. So literally, I felt like I'm moving back and forth even though I am not physically moving at all, standing completely still. But anyway, luckily at the social, my friend who was also a doctor happened to be playing that very same day at the same time. So he instantly came and quickly examined my foot with a few mobility tests, and he said that I most likely tore my Achilles tendon and should go home to ice and elevate my foot and not to put any weight onto it. So I was about to drive home myself, seeing that I still had my right leg, because in Australia the right leg is controlling the pedal. Okay, but then 2 other very nice social members offered to drive me home, as they didn't want me to risk a possible driving accident if like one of my legs cramped up and I couldn't control like my other leg or something. Anyway, when I got home, I continued icing my leg, and me and my fiance Jellypuff decided that we should quickly go to a doctor to see exactly what is wrong and how to treat it, because if you treat something quickly once you injure it, like the chances are that it's easier to recover. And yeah, waiting it out is never a good thing. Once again, the doctor we saw on the same day said it was an Achilles tendon rupture, and they scheduled me for an ultrasound the next day to know the severity of the tear. They also put me in a temporary boot and crutches to prevent me from weight bearing on the left foot. And yeah, just the next day, at day 1 after the injury, the ultrasound confirmed it was a complete rupture of the Achilles tendon with a gap of 7 millimeters, and it is located 7 centimeters above the insertion point above the heel. Okay, so here's a picture of a diagram showing what this injury kind of looks like. Yeah, so this news devastated me because I was hoping it was a partial rupture, since complete ruptures take many more months to completely heal, and as a sporty person myself, this news made me quite sad. So I got home and spent the rest of the day doing a lot of research on medical articles and also some similar YouTube videos on people who had this injury. And yeah, I just wanted to find out how I can like heal this quicker and in the most efficient way possible. The first thing I found that I was doing wrong was that the normal doctor that I saw after the session, they put me in a boot with my foot in a neutral position, and this was wrong. The most optimal position for healing Achilles tendon is actually in plantar flexion, which is having the foot pointing downwards, kind of like a ballerina foot, but obviously not that extreme. This position allows the separator ends of the tendons to be closer together as possible, which encourages easier and more efficient healing. You definitely do not want your foot to be in the position of the opposite way, where you're kind of doing like a half stretch, because the tendons would move like further and further apart, and it'll be harder to heal, and also ultimately it might even heal in elongated position, which means that your tendon will be longer than usual, which means your strength will be much weaker, and there might be some kind of permanent damage, so that's a no-no. Anyway, so I instantly put a few temporary paddings into the heel position of the boot, and I slept with it, with my mind telling my foot to be in plantar flexion the whole night, even when I am dreaming. Anyway, waking up to the second day after the injury, I couldn't wait any longer, so I decided to go to the emergency department at a hospital to get into a cast, because the boot was not really putting me into a permanent plantar flexion at all times, because I didn't have the hard type of heel lifts. I just had the paddings. The hospital's orthopedic also got to assess me and suggested that I go the non-operation conservative route, as my gap is only 7 millimeters small, and that most recent studies shows pretty much similar re-rupture rates and strength for both options, while surgery would actually give more downside risks like possible infection or nerve damage. With the cast, the most annoying thing that I found for day 3 and 4 was probably showering. It was such a pain to not get the cast wet, as I don't have a bathtub. So the best way to prevent water from getting into the cast is probably putting your casted leg into a big garbage bag with lots of tape wrapped around it, or like maybe elastics or something. As for all other activities like going to the toilet or going up the stairs, going up and down the stairs was not such a big deal for me, as I used to do a lot of gym and powerlifting training, so my arms basically just tanked through the crotches, and the ability of easily doing a one-legged squat also helped me a lot with sitting down and getting up on one foot, quite easily. But I'm also extremely lucky and blessed, as I have my loving fiance Jellypuff to help me in a lot of things that just makes my life much easier than if I were to do everything myself. And that's pretty much it, as this video marks day 5 after the injury. For dealing with the pain, I've been taking paracetamol and ibuprofen here and there when the pain is just too much. Currently, I'm just trying to book another orthopedic or maybe like a physiotherapist that specializes in recovery for Achilles tendon for next week, to see what rehab program that I should go on. And for people who is interested in my journey that I'm going to document, you can go to my channel, Amos Achilles, for all future updates. Link will be in the description, pinned comment, or end screen. And for all piano enthusiasts on Amos Tendon Music who are concerned about my piano videos, don't worry so much, because one extremely lucky thing is that I actually just injured my left leg, meaning that my right leg is still able to play the piano pedal and such. The only thing is that you may sometimes see my left leg is in sometimes a weird position on the video, or you can probably see my cast or boot in some of the upcoming videos. Anyway, check out my Amos Achilles channel for future updates, and I would love to see comments on that channel from people who had this similar injury, or maybe currently still recovering from this injury, because a lot of comments that I read from other Achilles tendon rupture videos, it just kind of gives me a peace of mind that I'm not the only one suffering from this, devastating injury. So yeah, Amos Achilles channel for my future updates on my recovery, Amos Tendon Music channel for the normal piano videos. That's probably not going to change. And also, yeah, in the background, if you were interested in looking at the gaming footage, you can go ahead check my gaming channel as well, Amos Gaming. All the links will be in the description. And yeah, as for now, hope you have a nice day and see you next time.